Shalom Israel. This is the ISUPK. Shalom Israel. This is the ISUPK. Under Commander General Hunter. Started out at 1 West 125th Street in Harlem, New York. This is the ISUPK Nashville Wednesday night law class. And I am priest and officer Zabak Yasharallah. Here in the ISUPK and the Commander General Hunter, we are not affiliated with no other Hebrew Israelite group that is on the face of this earth. For we are the ISUPK under Commander General Hunter, home of the truth. We're not affiliated with Christianity. We're not affiliated with Islam. We're not affiliated with Judaism, Egyptology, Scientology, all that mind-boggling stuff to just have you just to go disarray. Here in the ISUPK, under Commander General Hunter since 1969, we've been teaching Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians that you are the true biblical Jews according to the Bible, according to the words of the Most High God. My topic for tonight is having more than one rib is lawful. Having more than one rib is lawful. But with that being said, having more than one rib, you're going to have to get instructions. You're going to have to get instructions. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's ways to maneuver. It's ways to go about that. And when I say you're going to have to get instructions, you're going to have to you might have to take counsel. You're going to have to seek counsel. Because the men that are above you here in the ISUPK can better help you go about that than you thinking that you're doing it yourself. So that's why it is a must that you seek the counsel from the men that are above you. Before I go any further, are there any questions in the class? All right. So having more than one rib, it's not unlawful. I mean, even the Most High gave instructions. Christ even gave instructions compared to heaven. So it's nothing, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. But see, when you look at the laws that are governed by a state, take America. America will have you incarcerated if you go and partake in a wedding. If you go from, like, you living out in Florida, you go to a courthouse, you get this contract. Say if you have a job that you traveling, you go out to Texas, meet a lady. So now y'all say that y'all want to come together. Y'all want to come together and go to the courthouse. The law that binds that states that if found out that you will be incarcerated, you will be incarcerated. You're gonna get some jail time. But it's crazy how man's law is not that of God's law. Man's law, and this right here should be a crime. Two men going to a courthouse, two women going to a courthouse. That should be a crime. That should be a crime within itself, because in the sight of the Most High, that is punishable until death. In the sight of the Most High, that is an abomination. But here in America and probably in some other countries, a man can call herself tying the knot with another man. A woman could tie the knot with another woman. And in the sight of the Most High, that is unlawful. But you have uh you got like churches promote that. They done made churches for that. They done made schools for that. They done implemented that in damn near like your everyday life. But when you go in the scriptures, and the Most High said that a man can have more than one wife, and it's lawful in the sight of man, that's a crime. And that's crazy. Because if you call yourself uh doing the thing that is of the Most High, then it shouldn't be no problem with that. It should be no law governing that. Because every man partaking in that, he is making sure that every woman has a husband. And it's more so like I mean, that's just me. It's more so like a thing of balance. But you're gonna have to know how to be precise with that. You're gonna have to know how to articulate your moves. Not when I say articulate your moves, I don't mean like you sneaking and nothing like that. It just gotta be a thing of whereas you have a rib over here, you gotta know how to spend time with her. Rib here, you gotta know how to spend time with her, and so forth. It just I mean in the sight of the Most High, it's a righteous thing. There's nothing wrong with that. But then you have some people that go against that. You have some people that they go against that, but let's look at this uh, from a spiritual perspective. You go in the Christian church, if you knew the thing that goes on in the Christian church is like the same thing that goes on in society, you would have the preacher sleeping with every man's wife that he could get his hands on, and there's nothing that's being said. Why do the preacher have to take your wife into counsel, just them two? Why do they have to meet up certain places? Why is it a secret? But then it's frowned upon when here in the ISUBK and the Commander Junior Honda that we tell you that a man can have more than one wife. A man can have more than one rib. And it's crazy. And y'all look at the ISUBK like we wrong for that. When we telling you the things that is of the Most High. When we tell you the things that is of the Most High. But you look at the laws of the land and you'll partake in that wholeheartedly. You'll partake in in the laws of the land like it's nothing. But it's instructions for everything. Everything that is going on for a man to live, for a woman to live, and for a child to live. You will find that in the Bible, especially if you are Black, Latino, and Native American. God's chosen people, the instructions for the way to live. I'm talking about for everything. When I say this is a living Bible, everything that you are going on that is throughout this earth. So like everything that's going on throughout this earth, you will find it in the Bible. You will find it in the Bible. So uh let's talk about I'm gonna talk about uh marriage and a wedding. Two different words. If you ask the average person that is in uh that is in the world, that is not in the truth, they would tell you that marriage and wedding is the same thing, and it's not. Marriage and wedding is not the same thing because when you look at a wedding consists of you going to the courthouse and signing a contract. But hear me out. It's nothing. It's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that because it's things that uh But then again, too, the same way that you could go get a contract, if you know what marriage is, you can go to a notary public and get the same uh binding contract from a notary public that would give your rib access to things that let me give you a case in point. Like say if a man gets sick and he goes to the hospital, say he don't have no family, nothing like that. You know, some people in the hospital will look at it and be like, yo, to the woman, like, yo, you're not his wife. But if she has paperwork stating that she is allowed to do this and do that, and it's not coming from looking at the contract that comes from the courthouse, but this paperwork is coming from a notary public, and it states that she has access to do this and do this and do this and do that, then they have to acknowledge that. Because now you have a seal from a notary public stating that uh this paper that has been written up and signed, that notary public has his seal with authentication that states that, okay, this what this woman is allowed to do. Even if she was to go into a bank and say her husband was deceased and she going to retrieve the money, even if she is not on the actual account and he puts her down, if her name is on there somewhere connected on paperwork, then she could take that paper that she got from the notary public and boom, she can go and do this and do that. You don't think so? You mean to tell me if you go a piece of paper from Notary Public don't carry no weight? Go ahead.
If you have a paper from a notary public and you have a wife, and your wife trying to go get something, and a woman from another republic is trying to go get something, they gonna give it to the one you wife been married for, or they give it to the other person. I seen it happen.
Tell me the incident that you saw happen. Tell me the incident that you saw happen.
Okay, like when like say you have a child and your child had you go and get a notary public, say my child has authority to go to the bank and get this dirt out the bank. And then you got your wife and there's wife in there. And the wife go in there and be like, well, I'm getting mine. They not gonna give it to the person that have a notary public. They're gonna give it to the person who has the contract from the white man.
So this is what I'm saying, and I said this a little earlier. Whoever name is attached to the paperwork, whoever name is attached to the paperwork, whether the wife went and did white man wedding, when it did that contract, if her name is not attached to no bank statements and the child name is attached to the bank statements, or it's another lady and she got paperwork from the notary public, I don't see uh because you have to look at the minds of these white people. Because if nobody don't show up, what do you think gonna happen to that money?
It's gonna go to paperwork.
So if it go
Turn it back to what
return it back to who? Return it back to who?
it's gonna go to.
Okay, so it's sitting up in no. It's sitting up in probate court, right?
Mhm.
So who took it to probate court?
If nobody come get it,
The bank took it to probate court.
yeah.
So if the bank took it to probate court, and if nobody never showed up in the bank, where this money gonna come back to?
That's where they have the numbers. That's where they have that thing you see on TV all the time. It's you can put your social security number in here and you might have some money that belong to you that you never recover. It's gonna stay to the state.
But that's for anybody. I'm kind of keeping it home. Look, let me say this here. Let me say this here. If I was to pass away and I don't have your name on nothing tied to my bank account, and one of my kids' name is tied on that, who you think gonna get this money? All right then. I mean, I'm so okay. Say if my kid's not tied to this money, and the bank take this money to probate court.
Like when my mom passed in the state, whoever you live with, that's who gets the money. Like say you was living with your brother and you had some money in the bank. That money can be released to your brother because that's your last known address. Whatever address is on your ID, that's
But
where the
this,
money goes.
I'm with you on that. But if somebody passed away and they don't have no family members, and
It's just
nobody,
gonna go in this. It's just gonna put it in the
it's gonna it's gonna go in the court system. But this is what I'm trying to get you to understand. Who is putting it in the court system?
It's just
The bank.
yeah, it's just what
The bank putting it in the court system. So now the bank putting it in the court system. But guess what? If ain't nobody never showed up to the bank going through a process. It's gonna put it in the court system. Guess what it's gonna do in the court system? It's gonna sit there for X amount of months. So now by sitting in the court system, guess what it's gonna return back to? The bank. The bank gonna get back their money. The bank gonna get back their money. All I'm doing is saying that I'm just showing that how a contract from the courthouse, a notary public, kind of like carries weight too. It carries weight too. Because I could take young man. I could say young man is old uncle. And I give young man uh I say, yo, young man, I'm going out of town for about like 8 months, but yo, you go pick O up from school. If you not on whole thing to get from school and all that, then you really can't go get him, even though you my wife, last name and all that, and I ain't even put you down, and you go up in there, yo, I'm his wife. Look at the you got the paper courthouse, this and that and third, but that really wasn't carrying no weight. Even though you going and they being, saying this and saying that. His name is on paperwork. Your name on paperwork, but it ain't tied to the paperwork that is dealing with. Oh, that's it's like a different little ball game. So, you know, I get what you're saying when it comes down to like going in the bank, this and that and the third. But if somebody is living by themselves and ain't nobody been dealing with the bank, not but the person that was going into the bank, then when that person is deceased, yeah, they'll put the money this and that and the third. But guess what? Them people in the bank know what they doing. Cause ain't nobody never he ain't had no family members. Even if he got family members, they never came in the bank. They not on none of his bank things. So when they put the money in probate court, not probate court, but I think kind of go like the civil court. When it sits up there, no family member can come and say this and say that because they're not tied to nothing. They not his address. Uh, they not on no beneficiary. They know nothing, know nothing. No matter how much they come and say, "Yo, I'm the aunt, I'm the brother, the first cousin." No, none of that. Guess what? That money just gonna sit there because they can't touch that money. Cause now they're gonna start they got a representative in the bank and gonna start hitting it with all these big words, this and that, and the third. That money just gonna sit there. Guess what that money gonna do? Come right back to the people that took it there. But there's ways around it though. All you gotta do is just sit down with somebody and be like, yo, listen, man, put me down, man. Put me as a beneficiary. Do this here, do this here, do this here. Gotta be some paperwork. But it ain't nah. That ain't gonna happen. Cause if you ain't tied to that, then you ain't getting that. Listen, you dealing with people that have to install a whole nation. That's why we say that the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You dealing with people that have done stole all of America. You think that some money that they be lending out, taking from other people, they gonna let some black people come in their bank and get that money? Nah, they not. Your name ain't tied to nothing. They'll hit you with this and that and the third. They're not gonna release no money. They not. They're not gonna release no money. You would have to have documents. You damn near have to show baby pictures where you hugged up with your cousin by the swimming pool. Something like they not gonna release no money like that. Like they, but that's what I was getting at. Hey, uh, Shalom Lord of Christ, everybody that checked in. Hey, hit the like button, share, subscribe. You know, if you have any question, you know, you can put in the chat. But that's what I was kind of getting at. You know what I'm saying? Like going to a notary public, it carries weight too. It kind of carries weight too. But I get what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, if I'm in the house with a cousin, or if I'm in the house with my son, but 9 out of 10, they're gonna have you jumping through some hoops too now. They're gonna have you jumping through some hoops. Because now you gotta go but person gotta present a death certificate, they gotta present this, they gotta present that. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to present some documents. I'm not saying it can't be done, but I was more so just touching on that how set aside from a contract that you get from the courthouse and making a comparison about you going to a notary public, it almost kind of carries like same weight. It do. You sit there shaking your head, no, it do. It do. It do kind of carry the same weight. You know what I'm saying? Like we can go to look, I'm gonna take you and let you talk to a notary public and they'll tell you. Like I have been in situations where I had been sat down because I was gonna go and be a notary public, but you can't get caught up. Like now, being a notary public, you can't get caught up in little BS because now if you get caught up in little BS, that's why they thoroughly be checking stuff because they could lose their license. They can lose their license. They could lose their license behind some BS. Like if something ain't this and that and the third, like yeah. But being a notary public, they be touching bases with lawyers and this and that and the third because in the blink of an eye they could lose their credentials. But it is uh it's that notary public it do kind of carry weight. It do kind of carry weight because once they see that seal, man, this do kind of carry weight. Because they ain't no different than you going to the when you go to the courthouse and get that contract. Guess who's seal on that? Notary public. They notary public still on that. So that do carry weight. But let me get back on my topic. When it comes down to like I said, you have a marriage and you have a wedding. A wedding is what according to who? A wedding ain't nothing but a piece of paper. It's a contract, according to so-called white men. Because this is why I say that marriage and wedding is two different things. Because you can go to the courthouse and now in America, when well, they use Obama face for that. But he was down with it. He was down with it. Set aside from them using Obama face, you know what I'm saying? Because he could have been like, no, but he supported that. They use his face. He was with it when he signed, when he allowed it, got with Congress, and they say that two men could get married, two women could get married, and they started running with that. So that is not nothing of the Most High. That don't have nothing to do with the Most High. Now they got these churches promoting that, this, that, and the third. So now we're gonna jump into what marriage is. We're gonna jump into what marriage is. Like I say, marriage is what according to who. So young man, I want you to read marriage, but tell me what you're reading from.
This is from the Zondervan's Bible Dictionary. The definition of marriage is an intimate personal union to which a man and woman consent, consummated, and continuously nourished by sexual intercourse.
All right, stop right there. So now this is what a marriage is. A marriage is intimate intercourse between a man and a woman. And this is ordained by the Most High. This is ordained by the Most High. That's when you look at, okay, you take going down to the courthouse and getting this contract. Say if say if uh say if it's say if it's like in the 10th month and man and woman, they go back to the courthouse and they say, yo, I don't want to do this and that and the third. They will ask them, did y'all consummate this marriage? They were asking that. And they would say, it's either gonna be yes or no. If they didn't, it would make it easy for them to get out the contract. But if they consummate it, then all right, boom. You're gonna have to go and now you gotta fill out more paperwork because now, if y'all have any assets together, any money together, any bank account, this and that and the third, now you're gonna have to go and see a lawyer. But like I say, when it comes down to marriage and a wedding, it's two different things. So we know that marriage is sex according to the Most High. So even with that being said, you know that no wedding consists of being in the Bible. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join this man and woman is not in the Bible. So there's nothing wrong with like I say, a man having more than one rib. That's not what I say. This is what the Most High says. So we're gonna give you a little bit more talking about the sex part when it comes to dealing with marriage. Nah, you go to the next one.
Sex is holy, being the creation and gift of God.
All right, stop right there. So it says sex is holy, meaning that it's separate. You know what I'm saying? Because even when it came down to the Most High gave Adam and Eve instructions, he said, be fruitful and multiply. You know what I'm saying? And this right here was to go through our all generations. So even with that, you know what I'm saying? Like some of God's chosen people have been listened to what the so-called white man have said along with the so-called white woman and talking about not having kids, this and that and the third, or you're getting abortions. Some women talking about they don't want to mess up their body figure, this and that and the third. Okay, if you got a nice shape at 25, you're not gonna be shaped like that at 55. You're not gonna be shaped like that at 65. Somewhere along the line, you're not gonna have that body like that. But this the thing. Our sisters, God's chosen people, I don't know, somewhere along the line, they think that it's all right not to have kids. But you got to say to yourself, when you get to the point where you can't take care of yourself, then who's going to take care of you? Who's going to take care of you? You know what I'm saying? Like the Most High said that for a reason. Be fruitful and multiply. But then by you having kids, you know what I'm saying? You educate your kids, you teach your kids, and that makes up one of the things that makes up Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go. When he get old, he would not depart from it. But it talks about how children are supposed to do right by their kids, and they will receive a blessing. So listening to the things that is of this world, when talking about not having kids, this and that and the third, that is crazy. That is crazy. That like that's crazy. But I just wanted you. I just wanted you to touch bases on that. I just wanted you to touch bases on that right there. Yeah, you too wild. You too wild. I just wanted you to touch bases on that. But now we're gonna go into talking about how the instructions that is given from the Most High, and I'm gonna show you that in the Bible how these brothers had more than one bread. First, let's go. Let me get Exodus chapter 21 and 10. But listening to society, like they have you thinking that you got your career to think about, you got this to think about, you got that to think about, and it's a beautiful thing knowing that you can reproduce and you seeing coming home to your kids, looking at your kids, seeing your kids do little certain things, like it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, man. Like I don't get, you know, the makeup of some of God's chosen people and the way they think and how they move. You know what I'm saying? You move according to the things that is of this world and not that of the Most High. All right, you can read that when you got it.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 21, verse 10. If you take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish.
So this is the Most High giving instruction. If he take him another wife, if he take him another wife, this is what the Most High is saying. If you take him another wife, so there's nothing wrong with getting you another rib. It is nothing wrong. Like I said, it has to be one note, one accord. It can't be no, I don't want this, don't do this. It everybody got to be on the same page. Everybody has to be on the same page. You know what I'm saying? And for a woman not to understand that, you know what I'm saying, she is coming from a selfish state of being. It's not that you should want for your sister what you want for you. You should want that. Why would you not want if you calling yourself a sister and you being sisterly, then it shouldn't bother you if your husband wants another rib. Even when you look at what Abraham's wife did. She gave him another rib. It's almost like she went out and picked him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna give you somebody that's kind of close. Go ahead.
So it's interesting because in the story, Abraham didn't even get the rid of what he wanted. He didn't get the sister he wanted.
Mhm.
Their father gave him both of his daughters as his brothers, and they gave their hand, which kind of triple underlines, quadruple underlines the idea that this is lawful and also kind of traditional in Israelite culture.
Yeah. Go ahead.
What are you talking about? So, Jake.
Jacob. Yeah. Yeah. The two. Yeah. Because Jacob ended up with 4. Yeah. Man, I forgot their name, but I got it in here. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that. It was the two Leah, I think Leah and Rachel, and 2 women servants. Yeah. Go ahead, sis.
It is lawful to have no real and everything, but what people fail to realize is when you do have another rib, you gotta be able to provide for that rib, for both of them. You can't go and get another rib and you can't provide for both households. Like Captain Cesario, these niggas wanna go get other ribs and you can't even provide for the rib that you have. You can't even provide the household that you have. You paying bills like you can't even put gas in the car, but you talking about you going to get another rib. So these men have to, you can't have another rib, and you should want somebody to be a sister or whatever. But at the same time, you can't be lustful and be just out here get ribs, and you can't even provide for the first rib you have.
So I got a question for you. How you know that they can't provide?
It's say that I'm saying in general.
Uh-huh.
I'm saying in general, like they say all the time, these men be out here getting all these ribs and you can't provide for
But
women.
listen at how you making the statement. Look at how you making the statement. That's why I'm rebuttaling with the question. Listen at how you making the statement. That's why I'm asking you, how do you know that they can't provide?
How do I know they can't provide?
Yeah.
I didn't say every man can't provide. I'm saying some men
You just
can get other ribs and they can't provide. They just out here being
but once again, how do you know this?
how do I know?
Yeah, that they can't provide.
What you trying to say? Like, how do I know they can provide for the other rib? I mean, if they're not paying bills at their house, and then they ribs have to go other places to get assistance, or go to the school and ask the school for money, or go this place and that place, and
Once again, sis, I gotta stop you. How do you know this?
I listened to General Hyman and General Yohana and Captain Cesario.
Okay, so now it goes back to what I said at the beginning of this class. If a man wants to take on another rib, he has to go and get counseling. He has to go and get counseling. Because I don't see nobody just jumping in a pool and don't know how to swim. I mean, I can understand you putting your feet in the water, but I don't see you jumping in the water and you don't know how to swim. I don't get that. But you have you have to, because it goes back to this right here. If you don't really know what you're doing, then you're gonna, probably get caught up in something that you can't take back. Probably get caught up. That's why you have to go and get counseling. But even with that though, I don't see a brother going and trying to rib up a sister that don't have no job. Because pay if he can't pay no bills and he going and I'm just going off of what you saying. That's it. Mm, I don't see no man getting with a sister and not. Well, let me say this here. Let me say this here. I'm gonna say this here. I don't see that in the truth. I don't see that being in the truth, because if you go through that 6 month process along with that other 6 month process, I don't see a sister saying, "Okay, I want him for my Audubon." Because if he ain't paying bills, if he not paying bills at this first house, then I don't see him paying bills at the second house. If he go and get a second rib, I don't see this sister, because when you get in that second 6 month trimester, I don't see y'all supposed to go out. Y'all supposed to court each other. Y'all supposed to, now y'all can court one another. Now y'all can get to go to the movies. Now y'all get to go out to eat. Now y'all get to. So in the midst of all of that, if he ain't got no money to, even if they was to go half on it, If he ain't got his half, I don't see the sister saying we going back to the camp leading. Oh yeah, I want him. Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see that. I don't see that. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, go ahead.
Everybody real don't come in school. Some people come out the work.
So you saying that it's a brother that let me get it right.
Not even in school.
Okay, and some brothers got ribs that's outside in the world.
Mhm.
I get that. I get that. Once again, once again, if okay, let me say it like this, and I'm not throwing nobody under the bus. I'm gonna say it like this here, and I'm gonna piggyback off what you saying. If a brother in the school and he messing with a chick that is in the world, and he ribs her up, and it ain't no court process, it's no nothing, no nothing. He ain't tell her nothing about this whole year thing, this nothing. He ribs her up. I mean, I don't see what she expected out of him because if she laid down with him that fast and he ain't take her through that year process, then I mean, what should she expect? And I'm not when I say it like that, I'm not taking up for this brother. But if she didn't take the time out to get to know him, you see what I'm saying? Like if she didn't take the time out to get to know him, I don't see what she expect. Because if she slept with him that fast and he ain't like bought no groceries through that front door, he ain't offered that. Like asking her out the gate, like yo, your light bill, like, like how much the lights here? How much you pay rent here? If he ain't offering none of that, and he sit up there and they smashing, what you expect? Because what you put in is what you're gonna get out. I mean, what should she expect out of that? If she expect that, okay, by me opening my legs, I got him. I mean, that's all you got was him in that moment. Like no more, no less. But once again, like I say, I'm not taking up for no brother uh in the school because that brother, he should know better. And then two, you ain't doing right by the sister. You ain't doing right by that sister. So now you making this sister out to be really making this sister out to be a whore, man. For real. You make her out to be a whore. Go ahead.
And on top of that, they say, I think Jeremiah said, when people do that, you are ruining God's daughter,
Yeah,
daughter's
yeah. Of Zion. Yeah, yeah, yeah. When it shouldn't even be like that, like, you know, because if it's a brother in the school, he know better. He should take his time. He should take his time. He should take his time. And he should learn how to fight that temptation. He should not handle that sister like that. But, you know, and that's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah. Let me jump back on this, man. Let me jump back on this. Exodus chapter 21 and verse 10. This right here is instructions that the Most High said if he take another wife. So this is what the Most High is saying. If you take another wife, her food and her raiment and her duty of marriage should not be diminished. It should not be taken away from her. You know what I'm saying? And whatever it is that she brings to the table, you know, that brother should not take that away from her. But sis, long story short, I don't see even I'm gonna take brothers off the school out the table. I'm gonna take brothers off the school out the table, off the table. And when you take a woman and she dealing with a man, and if that man is not providing for her, it's an old saying: romance without finance is a nuisance. You understand what that means? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like it ain't but for so long. I mean, even the sex ain't gonna be nothing. I don't care if it was the 4th of July the first few times. Ain't no bills getting paid, ain't no food on the table, ain't no nothing, no nothing. That right there, like, yo, what we doing? Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, that's true, but it's a difference with like even if that's true for women in the world, but women in the school, even if his like you said, his sex game ain't good or whatever, we know we still have to be with this man, whether this, third, and the other, because we know that when you get with your husband or you get with your unwind, you with them to death do you part, no matter if you like say y'all courting and then y'all have sex and then you be like, oh, that one nothing. I don't want him to be my unwind no more. His game ain't right. You can't do that because that's a sin.
Yeah.
So that's why I said when you get into school and you learn stuff, and you get into school, you learn stuff, and you get educated. A lot of, like you said, a lot of women, um, and a lot of men too. A lot of women and a lot of men, when you know the truth and you know what the Most High expects of you, then that stuff right there, it goes out the window because you're supposed to be with this man that devil do you part, no matter what the situation is. So that like it's for people in the world. Like if he don't can't provide, if he I mean like yeah, you're supposed to provide because you as the Most High, but the sex game ain't right and all that, you be like, oh no, you can't do that. But especially when you know what the Most High is and his thing, because that's committing adultery and you being a whore at the same time. If you think that way.
Hmm. But once again, it goes back to you got that first 6 months and then you have that second 6 months.
Mhm.
So within that second 6 months, you gotta your A game, I'm talking about your awareness has to be sharp. Your awareness has to be sharp. Any red flag pop up, you got you have a choice. Yo, I'm pumping my brakes right here. I'm getting out the car. You have a choice. Because if you don't and you see something, so now guess what? Here come another red flag. Here, here come another red flag. I don't see I don't see somebody going through that year process and knowing that it is something that you see and you don't say something, like you don't sit down and say, yo, look, such and such, and you still go through the motions. Um, and you went through a whole year, I don't know, that's a desperado act to me. That's a desperado act. I can't see you going through a whole year and you s- I yeah, I can't see that. I mean, some people you have to have some type of morals. You have to have some type of values. Because if you dealing with a person and you going through a whole year and you got an option to say, hold up, I don't, and you don't have to make no argument. You don't have to be belligerent. You don't have to get, nah, hey, look, you know what? This is not for me. Because when that year's up, y'all going in front of these camp leaders. These camp leaders is going to question you thoroughly. They're going to question you thoroughly because it goes back to this here. If you go through with the marriage here in the ISUPK, that really means to, to the end, to the end. So I don't see somebody just, mm-mm. I don't care how much of Captain Zaria oils you got on and you smelling good. No, I don't get. I can't see that. I can't. I can't see that. Go ahead, young man.
Both of you guys are bringing out is very heavy and interesting. It kind of brings me back to that scripture that talks about proving a friend. Before you call somebody your friend, you have to like prove.
Talking about in Proverbs, I think that's in Proverbs. Uh, there's a friend that's sticking closer than a brother.
Not that one. Talk that, but also there's one that literally says that you have to prove.
Mhm.
Right? It might be Ecclesiastes, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But the point is that Rev when Adam one was not friend. It's like an Adam one.
Mhm.
Rev,
Mhm.
that's like friend times infinite exponents, right? So that courting process, the time frame, all of that without being sexual, without being worldly, without being lustful, um, for that long is a beautiful thing in my opinion, because it really forces all those red flags as you mentioned
Yeah.
to come forward. And then if you're, I'm gonna just say it blunt, if you're dumb enough to walk down the whole year and just keep riding in that car. You seen all these red lights, and they going through them, just shoot, shoot, shoot.
Yeah.
Saying nothing.
And you ain't.
As a sovereign adult, and you, I guess, cap the grilling that the camp leaders and the captains and the generals gonna put you through. I don't know what you can expect from that.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
to the man that can't provide for his first house, I mean, about that point, she has rib applicant number two has to be seeing what he's got going on with house number one.
Um, but
Yeah.
but it could be like rib number. Salaki for me. Salaki for me. Rib number two might could be in a whole nother state. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So rib number two ain't gonna see what rib number one going through or went through. You see what I'm saying? So, but this is my thing. This is my thing within a nutshell. This is my thing within a nutshell. If it has to be a mutual understanding. Because that ain't no way if like if how can I say oh, with a mutual understanding, man, like that's like you riding in my car and you I'm giving you a ride. I'm giving you a ride to work, but you don't live on my block or nothing like that. And you never offer me gas. How far you think we gonna keep doing? I mean, how long you think we gonna keep doing this? Yeah. So if a man is dealing with a woman and he is not providing for her and she still stick, you know what I'm saying? We taking the school off the table. Like I say, that's with any woman. But you got some dudes that play their partner. I done seen this. And I'm not putting nothing off on a woman, nothing like that. But you got some dudes that have done sleeping on the couch. He ain't doing this, he ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? But with me, it's each his own. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nah. I
So I mean, okay, one more thing. Um,
I'm gonna answer your question.
that the adverse dynamic that you just mentioned, that being, the man's not offering to provide anything, woman's just okay with it, as they're just, I guess, going through the motions. That speaks to the character of both people.
Yeah.
Now, man, not only are you kind of getting this free ride, but you're also acknowledging that this woman is not wanting you to provide what you should or could be provided. Like she's not expecting this out of you for one. And as a man, wait, and I, and as a man, you now get to see that this woman doesn't take you that kind of serious. Which again, if y'all want to ride in that, if you want to take that journey for X amount of time and
That's
just
what.
want to joyride for no reason, you know,
Yeah, that's what I said. Is
being lawful and courting, not playing around with life. And that's on you.
yeah,
But so
yeah. Hey, to the man, who is this? Okay. Uh, and I can't even hardly see this. Young man Shaq. All right, young man Shaq, you got a question. You say, do you have to court your rib if you new to school and real plan to be? Let me ask you this, young man Shaq. Is your rib nah, your rib ain't even in the school. Your rib ain't in the school. Listen. Listen, young man Shaq. Listen, young man Shaq. I'm gonna give you some good sound advice. I'm gonna give you some good sound advice. If your rib is not in the school and you want to rib her, you know, that's on you. But this is my advice. This is my advice. You're gonna have to think long and hard. You're gonna have to think long and hard because if you rib up this woman and you in the school, this woman is going to follow you in the school. She is going to follow you in the school. She is. And with that being said, you got to think about, you know, you got to think about what comes with that. I'm not trying to scare you or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, do the year, do take a year out. Take a year out to get to know her, And being that you in the school, you get more better counseling from Captain Nashak, man. You get more better counseling from Captain Nashak. But, this is what I'm saying. Do the year. Do the year. You ain't gotta think long on it, man. But just do the year, man, for real, because you know, you're gonna have to this is who you gonna be with.
so I agree about her. I think you might be talking about his career that he had.
That's a question. I don't know. Hey, let me ask you this, young man Shaq. Is this put this in the comment. Is this your rib that you have now? Oh, this already your rib. Oh, all right. This already your rib. This already your rib. That's already your rib. That's already your rib. Yeah, that's already your rib. Nah, you don't have to call her. Y'all got 3 kids, man. That's already your rib. That's already your rib. Nah, you don't have to call her. I mean, keep doing date nights. Keep doing what husband do, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, just keep doing what you do. It's a beautiful thing, man. And congratulations on your kids. But just keep doing what you do. What's up, sir?
Do this go for women too? Like if a woman in the school and she get with her Ottawa and her Ottawa is in the world, like she in the school and she finds an Ottawa, but the Ottawa is in the world. She's supposed to still court him for a year like that, like the same as a man.
You saying out of one, so I take it that did they already have sex?
No, said if she's in the school
Yes.
and she's looking for other one, but she finds somebody that's in the world, is they supposed to still court for the 12 months and do all that?
She can. but it would be wise for her to seek counseling. It would be wise for her to seek counseling. Because if she is in the school, it would be wise for her to seek counseling. And I feel like one of the things that it would be said in the counseling, like do a year.
Mm.
I feel like that. I feel like that. Do a year. Yeah. Even if um because I feel like this right here, one of the things that they would tell her in the counseling, he is not in the school. So you're dealing with a brother that's in the world. So now say if he don't like the fact that, you always dealing with the school, you this, you that, you ain't got time for me. He might make some little crazy excuse. Then guess what he gonna do? Pew. So with that being said, yeah, it would be wise for her to get counseling. But let me get Matthew chapter 25, verse 1, young man. But if you got any more, anything else to say, just say it as we go. All right. So now, oh man, this right here was a good it was a good topic. This right here was a good topic. But like I said, and I'm saying it because the Most High said it. There's nothing wrong with having more than one rib, man. You just have to, like I say, get some counseling. You have to go to the men above
Yeah, okay. Say you in the school,
you. Yes.
but you have someone in the world,
Yes.
and
So this would be. Let me stop you right here. Would this be the male this time?
the females in the school, but the brothers in the world, and
So this another sister. That's the second sister now. You just said something about a sister that was being in the school, and so come on with it. Come on with it, sister.
okay,
Come on with it.
in the school, but she's talking to someone in the world,
Yeah.
and he becomes her other one.
Uh-huh.
He's in the world,
Uh-huh.
and he decides that he don't know anything about the school.
Uh-huh.
He decides, I don't want this relationship. I'm gonna go get another chick because he's in the world and he don't know the things of the school. So is that sister still?
Let me cut you to. Let me. I'm waiting at the finish line. What you trying to ask me? Can she get another other one? No. Yeah. But let me get on. Yeah. So go on and tell her no, because she know. She know. She know.
So she just gotta be by herself for the rest of her life, unless he dies.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Sis. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. Then she'll be loose. Yeah. How long she been in the school?
Not that long.
What's not that long?
I'm just saying it.
Was she in the school long enough to come to scripture breakdown class?
Mhm.
How many?
Just-
Oh, so she was able to make it to the scripture breakdown class.
It's just a question.
No. And I answered it. Okay, all right, well, you go back and tell her you asked that question for her. It's all right though. But she yeah, I'm kind of BSing, but she can't, she I mean, I don't know, you ain't say how long she been in the school. So yeah, it's pretty much, yeah. She bound to that man until yeah. You got Matthew chapter 25, verse 1?
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 1. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom.
So even Yahweh Shah, who the world calls Christ, he even knew about having multiple wives. You know what I'm saying? He even compared that to the kingdom. So plus the Most High carried out the instructions that was given to him by the Most High. And it's no different. Even when you look at like King Solomon had 700 wives and he was 300 concubines. Even though he was the wisest king that has been recorded in the Bible, still yet the Most High told him that these women is going to turn your heart away from me and have you serving other gods, which he did. And I haven't heard a lot of people say this here about Christ. Why Christ ain't have, some say about Mary Magdalene and all that. That's crazy. Like, come on, man. Christ ain't come here for that. Christ came here to do one thing and one thing only, push this truth. Yes.
So if King Solomon had one wives and half of them was unlawful, then that's the reason why, like, uh, even though he got a lot of wives, but half of them weren't even lawful. So that's like not fair. Like, cause that's why whatever happened to him happened because he wasn't doing it the right way.
Yeah. But the Most High had already told him, though.
Huh?
The Most High told him what it was before
Yeah,
it
yeah,
happened.
yeah, constantly.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that doesn't back into because the half of his wives weren't even lawful.
Mm-hmm. Let me get Genesis chapter 4, verse 23. Yeah, but King Solomon, you know, he still was a king, and he did his thing. He was wise, but I don't know. I guess he just he had a thing for women. He had a thing for women. Uh, Together.
You like women too much.
Uh,
Woman hiding. All right, this is Genesis chapter 4, verse 23. And Lamech said unto his wives.
all right, stop right there. So this is Lamech talking to his wives. So this is a S on the end, plural meaning more than one. So this shows you that how Lamech had two wives. He had two wives. So this is not unlawful. So this is showing you like certain people in the Bible how they had more than one wife. I think Rehoboam, might be pronouncing his name wrong. Rehoboam, he had something like 18. Let me see. Let me run this down real quick. Rehoboam. Yeah, Rehoboam had 18 wives. Abijah, he had 14 wives. Let me see who else. Uh, like King David, two. No, I want to say more than two. I might be. I know he had the second wife was when he seen that lady taking a bath and had her husband go to war. Had her husband go to war, and shalom on Christ, sis. The water for checking in. So like I said, it's lawful. It is lawful. It is lawful. But once again, there's nothing wrong with getting counseling. It is nothing wrong with getting counseling for the moves that you are going to make. Because making a decision and that's a good question. They say, what is the reason why the Most High allowed for a man to have multiple ribs? What is the meaning behind it? That's a good question. That is a good question. Sister, sum it up without, and I don't want to answer this. I don't want to answer this on my own. But I feel like the reason that the Most High allowed that was, and I don't want to sound like too simple, is that every woman can will have her own husband, you know. But sis, I want that. I want to give you the right answer, and I'm gonna have to take that to some men above me. Sis, I'm gonna take that to some men above me, and I'm gonna make sure that answer that. This what I'm gonna do, sis. This what I'm gonna do. This what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go, and I remember your question. Uh, and I'm gonna present that in scripture breakdown class. And say, what is the reason why the Most High allowed for a man to have multiple ribs? What is the meaning behind? That's a good question, sir. Yeah.
Salaki, if I could, there's a precept in Genesis that kind of goes along with an answer to that, if I can read it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 28. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, fruitful and replenish the earth. Right? So there, if you put that together with how our biology works, women can have one child per 9 months.
For 9 months. Correct.
Versus men can impregnate as many women as they're able to provide for, and in all ways, lawfully speaking, as often as they can, or as often as they want. Which means that you're impregnating also, and Salami on overstepping. I'm not trying to teach, but
Nah, man. Nah, go ahead. Do your thing.
which means that a man having multiple ribs allows us to fulfill this order that we're given by the Most High, that being replenish the earth.
Mm-hmm.
That way, no matter how often we're passing on and transitioning, we steadily have that many more being born into the world and provided for.
Mm-hmm.
That's my understanding. But again, I am a young man.
Nah, you too wild. So, she was saying that she could barely hear you.
True. Can you say it again?
Yeah. Speak up.
Oh, come. So Genesis chapter 1, verse 28 says, and God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth. So, in my understanding, women can have one child per 9 months, versus men can impregnate and essentially fertilize an egg as often as they want to, which means that ability gives us the ability to fulfill this commandment, this order that we're given by the Most High. So that way, no matter how many of us are passing on, transitioning, what have you, we're steadily replenishing the earth at an exponential rate. That's my understanding of this.
Hey, young man, listen, this is what I want you to do. Sus, this is what I'm getting ready to have the young man do. I want you to write down this question.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna tell it to you. Just let me know when you're ready. All right. She said, what is the reason? Let me know when you're ready. Why the Most High allowed for a man to have multiple ribs.
Got it.
Nah, it's some more. Some more.
Right.
What is
Mhm.
the meaning
Mhm.
behind it?
What else?
That was it. But then, sis, I see that you put in here, you say because in the scripture, all the ribs were always sad and they were never happy. Hmm. Yeah, go ahead, sis.
I was gonna say what my thing is about the Most High, maybe we have multiple ribs, is what he said, like to be fruitful
And multiply.
and multiply to build like to build his
To
nation
build up our nation.
so he can uplift the Most High and bring the word to the world about the Most High. But she's supposed to be able to build to what he have and and have a purpose, not just, you know what I'm saying? And I think it's like what he said, and she's supposed to be able to come like to help build the kingdom. So help him
Help build up our nation. Help build up our nation. Yeah, help build up our nation.
like to be a helpmate, like in any way build to build. Yeah. So we can help him build the kingdom.
Yeah, to build up our nation.
Mhm.
So sus, we got you. Sus, you put the fire emoji. Is the fire emoji stating that is the fire emoji stating that that is for your question, the answer to your question. Let me be a little bit more specific. Put it in the comments. Okay, let me get Genesis chapter 16 and verse 3. All right, the water, sis. You know, young man, she said what you said made sense. So a precept of that would be like Proverbs 31. Let me see. Proverbs 31 verses 10 through 31. For what you said. Takes you to that virtuous woman. And then it goes on and talks about, like, when you hit verse 10, it goes on and talks about how she preparing, how she feeding the husband, the kids, um, just talking about her duties and things of that nature.
Right.
Right. All right.
We alive. And this sister got some questions. Hold up. Let me see. I just don't understand why the women have to even have the emotion or the pain that comes behind it. Why did he give us the emotion to care when he allowed for them to have ribs? I mean, he made the woman for the man. The woman was made for the man, sis. As far as like uh the woman emotions, I mean, if a woman is not in tune with the instructions that is coming from the Most High, she'll just be lost in the ways of this world, you know. Because when you find a woman that has had good upbringing and that woman has got instructions from the Most High and has been taught to her, then she gonna pass it down. And like all the instructions for a woman as well as a man is in this book. It's coming from the Most High. Because it goes on to talks about, like, when you look at Ezekiel chapter 16 and verse 44, if that woman has bestowed what is in her into her daughter, like I think Ezekiel chapter 16 verse 44, as is the mother, so is the daughter. That goes on to, I want to say, like Titus. Uh, yeah, what's up?
So a lot of those women that in the school, parents, didn't teach us that, or we come from out the world. A lot of women did this, so you can't say like, well, you can, but it wouldn't register us to like have multiple wives. You said like the mother's supposed to teach the daughter, but we coming from our mothers not didn't teach us that because we come from out the world. We can teach our daughters, but
I get you.
like us women personally that coming from out the world. They haven't been in school. But I hear what you say too, what you said about, you got the instructions that's in the Bible that I'm just saying, like, because you was like, you gotta listen to what was passed down to you, but a lot of us, it wasn't passed down to us.
That's why you have to go and get counseling.
Huh, huh.
That's why you have to go and get counseling. Yeah, go ahead, young man.
I'm gonna underline the beginning part of what you said, that being about a woman that's not in tune with the instructions that are coming from the Most High.
Mhm.
I think a solid example of the effects of that is Eve.
Yeah,
How she went after the serpent instead of going after.
how she took on them instructions. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
And that brought about like the childbearing. That brought about like how she would. I'm kind of paraphrasing what I'm about to say. Like if she pregnant, how she would long after her husband, stuff like that. But I just don't understand whether. I mean, sis, you know the emotions and the pain that comes behind it. Sis, I don't know if you are a sister that man, I don't know, like, if you going through anything, but the only thing I can tell you, sis, is that, you know, there's nothing wrong with going to seek counseling to the point to where you, like, if you in counseling, you really have to dig deep down inside yourself. You really have to dig deep down inside yourself and just ask the question, just like how you just put that in the chat, like how you say you don't understand why the women have to even have the emotion or the pain that comes behind it. And I don't know if your out of one has more than one rib. You know, I don't want to get into that right here, right now, but I'm gonna say this real quick. Um, there's nothing wrong with going to counseling because whatever you going through and how you feeling in the midst of you being in that counsel, you just got to get it all out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just gonna have to get in that counseling and ask before the counsel start, how long do I have to talk to you, whoever it is that you're talking to? How long do I have to talk to you? Because men, even I know this here, women are emotional. I'm not picking at you, sister. I'm not picking at no woman for that matter. You know, a woman thought is not that of a man thoughts. So it might be certain topics that a woman be talking about and it's touchy. So you really have to take time out and have to deal with that woman and really, you know, just gonna have to take time and just let her get out what it is that she's saying. And boom, we going from there. We see, but I read in the scripture that the woman wrong and was sad. It was too many stories that I read where the reals were happy that the husband took on. Okay. All right. All right. What's up? What's your question?
I have a question. Well, you know, like they say, a man can have multiple ribs, but if he choose to, if he choose upon it.
Mm-hmm.
So if a woman, if you meet a woman and a woman be like, I don't want a husband with multiple ribs, and she said that in the beginning, is that guy supposed to be like, okay, she brought that to my attention, so I'm gonna go find me a rib that want that's what she wants, or can we make opposite? Can if we put it on the table in the beginning and be like, that's not what we want, and should that man go to another sister that's what she want? Like, do we have a choice in the situation? If we bring that to the table while we courting, and the brother be like, okay, that's not what I want either. I want to only have one rib. And it's like, is that okay? Like for her only to want one husband?
Ain't nothing wrong with that, but it ain't nothing wrong with that brother to change his mind too. There's something wrong with that.
Yes, because that's being deceitful when you brought it to the table. That's not what you want.
Yes.
That's being deceitful.
Listen. A person changing their mind is being deceitful.
If in the beginning she brings that to the table.
Okay. In the beginning, you brought that to the table.
Mhm.
But is it wrong? Is it deceitful for a person to change their mind, even though they said this in the
To me,
beginning?
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the woman put that out. And if you had anything in your head that that's not what you want, you should leave that woman alone and go to the next woman.
Mm. Yeah.
Like in the Bible, it say if a woman, like if you like in the Bible, it says like if a woman if you don't want to take up on a husband, then you need to stay single and
Yeah.
just be single. So if that's giving her a choice. So if that's saying like if she want to be single, she can be single. She don't have to take up on a husband. So that's her choice. So if I don't want to take up on a if I said in the beginning that I husband just for me, and if that's being selfish or whatever, I brought it to your attention. So you need to go to you should go to a woman who wants that.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. 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 But even if the woman is being selfish, and even if the woman is being selfish and she says she want to get some time to herself, guess what? By him getting another rib, guess what she got now? Time to herself. Well, go ahead and say what it is you're gonna say.
So now, woman, but if that's being, if, to me, if that's being selfish, then why the Most High say if you don't want to choose a man, stay to yourself? Then that means she being selfish. That's the Most High is not looking at her being selfish, not want to stay to herself. So how is it her being selfish if she just want her husband and nobody else? If he's saying if he wouldn't have told her to stay to herself, because he would have been like, this man out here that needs you. Go get a man.
You know, you know why it's being selfish? Because she don't want to share her man. She is not being sisterly to another sister that does not have a man. So if she says that sisterhood is a weapon, then she should show it by sharing that man. Because guess what she's doing to that sister? She is being a sister. She is making sure that sister has what she has. So now,
They don't make sense. Well, if that's the case, then the sister, then the Most High would have said, if you don't want to stay, if you want to stay single and you don't want a husband, be by yourself. If that's the case, the Most High would be like, no, it's men out here that need women. So you need to go find a husband because it's men out here that need you. So he wouldn't, he don't look at that as being selfish. So how is he looking at you wanting to have your own husband as being selfish? If the Most High don't look at that being selfish, then you can't look at that being selfish. That's my opinion.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, that's why it's an opinion. Yeah, I'm with you. 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 But you know, you got to remember, sisterhood is a weapon. So you got to use that weapon. You got to be sisterly.
But you also have a choice to be by yourself if you don't want to be with
Yeah.
somebody that if you bring it in, you also have a choice to be by your if you don't want that, like you said all the time, it's your choice. If you want another girl, it's your choice. You
Yeah.
don't have to get one.
Yeah.
So it's a choice.
Yes. 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 It is. It is. It is. And that's why. But you know what though? With that being said, at the end of the day though, man, you got to seek counseling. Man. You have to seek counseling because I might not be able to break down and explain it so that you can understand it. That's why there are men above me that could break this down. You ever heard that saying, a person can't see the forest for the tree?
Come.
So now, with that being said, it's way men that wise, way far beyond me. They can help you see the forest along with that tree. So sisters have to go and get counseling. Just as well as the brother. The brother needs counseling if he wants to go and partake and get another rib.
Come.
Just as well as, like I'm saying, is for the sister, the brother too. The brother too. But I'm gonna jump off into, man. Well, this right here was on fire tonight. This right here was on fire tonight. But listen, we're gonna jump off into this last one. We're gonna jump off into this last one, man. Let me get Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1, man. We're gonna jump off into this last one. Hey, sis, check this out. Come tomorrow, it's gonna be a powerful scripture breakdown class. Tune in, sis. You know what you should do tonight? Not being funny, go and write down some questions. Going to write down some questions. But your question that I had the young man to write down, and even though you said it made sense, we're gonna present that. We're gonna present that in the scripture breakdown class. And like I said, tune in tomorrow. You got questions because you ask a good question, and I see that you do have some good questions. So you could present these same questions. You could present tomorrow night too as well. Just chime in, chime in. You know what to do. Whenever you get that, you can read it.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 4, verse 1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man.
No, one woman.
And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man.
3 women.
7 women shall take hold of one man.
Mm-hmm.
Saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach.
Hey, listen, in that day. What's up?
But that verse, them just wise stuff. That's not what that verse is saying.
What that verse is saying?
Because they said that so many, you were to have 7 women, but all them 7 women is not your. It's like some of them like say come up to the school because the world's out the end. And then each man I have 7 women that they have to look over. It's not saying that all 7 of them is your wives. It's not saying that.
But it say 7 women gonna take hold of one man.
But
it ain't say.
Like,
I'm not saying nothing. We reading it. We reading it as is. It say 7 women shall take hold of one man. So let me say it like this here. If a man say, man, I'm gonna take hold of this woman tonight, man, she going with me. What that sound like? If I go to a club and I see this chick and I say, yo, man, I'm taking hold of her. I got a hotel room. I'm gonna take hold of her tonight. What does that sound like? Young man, what does that sound like?
That's what it sounds like, sir. It's so accurate. Sounds like you know it me.
okay, I was saying because I asked, I think it's supposed to break down. One of the brothers had broke that down. Like that's not saying that Phil is his 7 wives.
Okay. No, I'm hey, listen, check this out. You saying something?
If I'm not mistaken, I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure that's what I heard in one of the classes. But you just saying that because you was talking about wives. And
Sis, what's not righteous? I'm a little curious. What's not righteous?
what you saying?
You could put it in come back and put it in the comments. Say 7 women should take hold of one man.
Women, not wives.
Sis, I was just sis, I was just elaborating. I wasn't really, you know what I'm saying? My point was the word take hold. Like okay, let me say it like this here, sis. After a year, and I go through the courting process and I say, yo, I'm gonna take hold of this sister from Minnesota. I'm gonna take hold of this sister from Minnesota. I'm talking about the take hold part. You know? So but I get what you're saying too, sis. You hit me with the smiling movie. Nah. She said, "Oh, you want to hear what you?"
He told me,
Yeah, what's up?
I was okay, like say it's 7 women walking down the street, and and the brother, he's on this side of the street, and it's like it's like some brothers over there, but they look kind of evil.
Mm,
This is my example. Them 7 women are coming to him because they coming to him for protection against these men right here or the enemy that's trying to come. So even though they with him, that don't mean that's his wife. They just with this man for protection because of what the enemy is gonna come. Or somebody that's trying to do harm to him. That's the way I understood that it was. It's
that's
not,
what you understood.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah,
I get what you're saying. That's what you understood. That's what you
yeah.
got out of it. But you got to see what it's saying. It say in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, "We will eat our own bread." Guess what? Out of these 7 women that took hold of that man ain't really got to spend no money on them. They say, "We will wear our own apparel." So it sounds like these women is doing their own thing. Sound like these are some virtuous women. But guess what? They still taking hold of this one man. They still taking hold of this one man. Go ahead.
So I get also, I believe this, and correct me if I'm wrong, confused. Um, I believe this book, if not this chapter, is talking about prophecy in regards to post-apocalyptic or like apocalyptic borderline doomsday
Yes.
Mhm.
sense. So taking hold, like you brought this out last week, you know,
Mhm.
like it's not gonna be some just, oh yeah, I'm walking, if someone's walking down the street and then women just flock to you because you look safe. It's this guy has what we need
Right.
to have us survive,
Come.
not just survive life, not just survive from
Right.
point A to point B. So
Come.
it's one thing is very, 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 very.
And that's what it's gonna come down to. Yeah.
That's how it makes sense to me. I've never seen the scripture brought out in any other context.
Mm.
But it's guess what? Scripture breakdown tomorrow.
Come.
Yeah. Scripture breakdown tomorrow. But man, that's right here was very interesting. That's right here was very interesting. Sus, bring that same energy tomorrow. Yes, bring that same energy tomorrow. And hey, I want to say the water to everybody that tuned into the class tonight. Hey, y'all, come to the class tomorrow night. Come to the class. And sis, uh, yeah, sis, come on, yeah, come on in the class, sis. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, get in the class and like I say, just write down like all your questions. Get all your questions. Come into class. Hey, man, my brother Karyala, man. Hey, listen, precept. What? My man got the precepts for you. But yeah. Once again, the water to everybody that tuned into the class. Appreciate it. Um, powerful scripture breakdown class tomorrow, starting at 7. Um, we got the memorial of the blowing of the trumpets. It's going to be Friday, September 11th, 2026. You can find that in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 24 through 25. I'm gonna give a courtesy salute to all the brothers, Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shabarakathon, to the sisters, Yahweh Shemar Alathon, Bashem, Yahweh Shah. Your class dismissed.